Hey y'all, Kelly Whitney here with another thing older Black women should tell younger Black women, but don't. Girls, don't ignore red flags and never, ever, ever ignore your gut feelings. Now, my latest obsession is these AI generated stories that I found on YouTube. There's one channel in particular that I love, and it almost feels like the stories are created by someone who's not American, because the tropes that run throughout each story almost don't feel American. Now, I'm saying this as someone who adores East Asian media, and I'm getting an East Asian vibe from the stories. But they have a lot of things in common. Number one, they all have happy endings. Number two, the women are all sacrificing something initially, whether it's their position in their family for the sake of someone else, perhaps the man's former lover come back to reclaim her spot, or their education, or their ambition, or something, their closeness with their family and friends, because the partner has decided to distance them from everyone they know and love, so they'll be easier to control and manage and more inclined to focus on their partner's career and well-being. And the other thing that they have in common is the fight that comes once these women realize that they have sacrificed so much of themselves for a man who literally does not love them, does not respect them, does not care for them, and does not appreciate anything that they have done or are doing on their behalf. It's disgusting in a way, but they're captivating. I can't resist these stories, and I don't know if it's because I'm a romance writer myself, and so I feel an affinity with this heroine and, how they're fighting against just ridiculous obstacles to reclaim themselves and their career paths and everything. In some of the stories, it's easy for them to reclaim what's been lost because there's a supernatural element. They go to sleep, or the husband kills them or is waiting for them to die, and then somehow they're transported back in time to right before the marriage certificate needs to be filed, or right before they say yes to the engagement, and they say no. And from there on, they rejigger their lives back on track. The degree they sacrificed, nope, they're going to school, and they just count down the days. The mistress or girlfriend who comes out of the woodwork and the husband just allows her to take up way too much space in their current lives. Just egregious disrespect. They don't take it. They fight back, and they do it very calmly, very coolly, and very strategically. There's no big emotional scenes. These women are not unemotional, but they are incredibly focused, and there's absolutely no way that they're not, in this second time around, going to be laser focused on creating outcomes that lead to their betterment rather than their detriment. I wanted to share these stories with you because the similarities between a lot of the narratives that we encounter day by day, whether it's through traditional media, books, social media, movies, TV shows, dramas, whatever it is, of the woman who sacrifices everything for an unappreciative, repentant, or even evil in some cases man, it all starts with the red flags that they ignored. You cannot ignore red flags. You cannot ignore your gut. When your gut is telling you that you're making the wrong decision, you can't discount that. They say that your gut is your second brain. So essentially, when your gut is warning you about something, that's your higher self issuing you a warning. And I think older Black women won't tell you to never ignore red flags, or to never discount those persistent signals and hints that your body is trying to give you, whether it's a situation with a man or a friend or whomever, because they have ignored their gut. We have ignored the red flags. We ignored them when they were pink, and by the time they were blood red, we had already become accustomed to turning a blind eye. You see what I'm saying? And that kind of behavior always leads to your downfall, because it takes away your ability to course correct. It takes away your ability to suss out a new path or direction for yourself that may disagree with the path that someone has set in motion for you, the path that is most amenable to their needs. And that's why I preach selfishness so much on my platform, because when you don't follow your gut, when you ignore red flags, flags or even pink flags, you are setting yourself up for hurt, harm, potentially danger. And that's what these women in these AI generated stories always find out. Now, because these are stories, everything works out beautifully in the end, but that's just a story. In real life, things don't often go like that. When you ignore red flags and you ignore your gut in real life, you end up on the ropes. You end up going down for the third time and all they see is the bubbles. You see what I'm saying? Do yourself a favor. Don't count on the vagaries of fate or supernatural forces to re-engineer your life. Remain in control of your destiny. Never ignore red flags. Never ignore those persistent hints that your gut is trying to give you, because those hints are signals. They're warnings, they're opportunities for you to create better outcomes for your happiness, for your health, for your finances, and just generally to ensure that you can live well. And that ends my TED Talk for today. So if you see these AI stories online, check them out. You might like them if you like romance. And I do. I write romance books. So I'll see y'all tomorrow.